Hey everyone, welcome back to the Craft Parenting podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem, and that parenting problem is asleep at the moment.
Don't jinx it.
But we're gonna ignore that I said that.
Yeah.
But my name is Joe Ludwig, and with me is my lovely wife and co-host Caroline.
Ahoy! I will never do that ever again. I just wanted to do it once.
Okay.
Never. No, we're on a ship. Or I'm on a boat.
Are you a pirate that doesn't do anything?
I do just stay at home and lie around.
Okay. So I don't even know what I'm talking about now because this is off the rails already.
And we haven't even had beers yet, so it's not like that's...
We've had zero beer. That's right.
Zero.
But that is, we are being very strategic with that.
We are. So today...
What are we talking about today?
Yeah, this is an all me episode because I decided that we should do this. We are going to do just a straight intro to what the Higher Gravity Beervent Calendar is. Sorry, not sorry. It's too late to buy one. But what the Beervent Calendar is, what it's been historically, what our expectations are this year, our thoughts on some of the stuff that's going to be in it, and just, it's not going to be like a long episode. And then kind of just go over how we are going to handle Beervent this year versus how we handled it last year, and have some transparency behind it, I guess. I don't know.
You guess, or are we being transparent?
We'll be a politician.
Okay.
Ignore what I'm doing over here. Just pay attention to this.
All right. So what is the Higher Gravity Beervent Calendar? What is Higher Gravity?
So Higher Gravity is a bottle shop that is located in the greater Cincinnati area. They have two locations.
Yes.
One in Summit Park, which is in Blue Ash, and one in Norwood. No, not Norwood. North Side.
North Side. Yep.
I wanted to say don't talk shit about Norwood, but it's North Side. I guess don't talk shit about North Side either. North Side has some pretty cool stuff in it. And every year for the last a long while, I do not know how many years, and I don't know if it's in their FAQ. I didn't read the FAQ because I was like, if you're interested in the FAQ, you can read that yourself. It does not say.
Let's just move on.
So I don't know how many years they've been doing this, but this is our second year participating. This is Julia's 100th year participating. So slight sidebar. Julia does a podcast called Truth, Beer, and Podsequences with a fellow named Marco. And if you are part of some of the greater Cincinnati craft beer groups, there's the Cincinnati Craft Beer Club and 513 Craft Beer, Craft Brew. And I think there's Greater Cincinnati Craft Beer Society. They have crazy names. But if you follow Truth, Beer, and Podsequences sounds spelled like what you would expect when you combine podcasting and consequences together.
Yep.
She will post there as well. Long rambling to every year, Julia does a different song parody to go with the beer of the day. And sometimes the song parodies make a little more sense than others, as far as the song and beer combo. But she's been doing that for ages, and she's really good at it. And she has to dust off her music catalog to figure out what song she's going to have at the ready to make parodies of this year. So follow Truth, Beer, and Podsequences on Facebook, and you can see the amazingness that is Julia's
What is the
songcrafting.
So you answered what Higher Gravity was. What is Beervent?
Yes.
Did you answer that?
No, I did not yet. So Beervent is like an advent calendar that you got as a child, filled with little cheap
You bought yourself.
Okay, pieces of
You
chocolate,
bought yourself an advent calendar.
but small children think that they're fantastic. No, I bought ones for the kids. I bought 2 for the kids. So we have our advent calendar and they have their advent calendar.
Okay,
So-
in previous years, you bought yourself.
Yes, in previous years, I have bought myself my own chocolate advent calendar. I think one year I bought like a fancy chocolate one. It was really yummy. But this is that, but with beer. So for 25 days, you get a new beer every day. And it is curated by Higher Gravity and the team there. I will go through the first few paragraphs of their website where they talk about this because they do a much better job of explaining this succinctly than I will.
Yes.
So, from the Higher Gravity website. Every year, our team puts together the most killer advent calendar designed for adults, the Beervent Calendar. The Beervent Calendar features 25 different beers, 1 craft beer for each day starting on December 1st all the way through Christmas Day. Each day you will get a pop tab and be surprised. Each day you get to pop a tab and be surprised with something new. The beers are all different styles. Last year, the box featured 19 different styles of beer and are from breweries all around the world. In addition, this calendar generally features at least 10 completely unique beers that you won't find anywhere else in the Cincinnati market. Those beers are either collaborations with local breweries that we brew specifically for the Beervent Calendar, or special orders from out-of-state/city breweries that won't hit shelves anywhere else in the city. Of everything we do around the shop, this is one of the things we are most proud of. Because of that, we wanted to share a little extra insight about the amount of time and effort that goes into these beauties. So, I'm going to start paraphrasing now. But they start planning these in June, because it's necessary for them to figure everything out. So they make a list of the styles or sub-styles that they want to focus on. They look at the calendar, specifically the holiday a day calendar, to see if there is anything particular to that day that they would like to try to focus on beer-wise.
Last year, they kind of pranked us last year, but
It was like a mildest of mild pranks.
they gave us a non-alcoholic beer on Festivus Day.
Yes, which is the airing of grievances day from Seinfeld.
Yes. So it's like very obscure. There was some other ones that they celebrated too.
Yeah.
But you would have to follow the calendar to like connect the dots, I think.
Yes. So, for example, one year they may have given a lump of, quote, coal in the past on St. Nick's Day. And so they actually like have a label where they partnered with Epicurean and gave out their coal beer because everyone that got the Beervent Calendar was bad. Therefore, they got coal as jokes. And so then they talk to their distributors and their brewery reps to figure out what beers they can get based on production schedules. And they have to start meeting with their local breweries, one of which is
West Side,
to determine what their unique collaboration beer can entail.
All right.
So this isn't as intense as the Labor Day fireworks, where as soon as they hit go on the Labor Day fireworks for 2023, they start planning the fireworks for 2024.
Yes, it is. It is just as intense.
But this is only 6 months versus like a whole year.
Last year, there were fireworks in the beer box. And stuff exploded.
Oh, yeah.
Before people...
People got it. So last year, there was a last minute switcheroo.
I think that is just as intense as...
That would be like...
as the WEBN fireworks. That is my truth.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where, like, you have to just roll with it and then just pivot and be like, okay, what have we got? A bunch of cans of that we can throw in here instead. Or what can we get at the last minute? You said your beer would be shelf stable at room temperature. So they work with their special beers. They work on label design as well, which is super cool. So they get to be involved in everything.
I mean, yeah, everything, if you distribute, you have to go through the state, and get the label approved.
Yeah. And so we are going to be as spoiler free as we can be. Because they pre-pack these boxes before Thanksgiving, and we have already acquired our box.
We did.
And Joe thought he could fit it in the fridge, but we could not. But if you don't have a side-by-side fridge, I'm sure it would have fit. Is it just that our fridge wasn't wide enough?
It was not wide enough.
Yeah. So if you don't have a side-by-side, you can potentially fit it in your fridge if you can find the space for it.
You don't need to, though.
No. Because all of the beers are supposed to be shelf stable at room temperature.
Yeah.
So all the boxes are made locally and are assembled by their team members, which usually takes about 40 man hours just to assemble the boxes. That does not include putting anything in the boxes. That is just making the boxes exist as a thing. Which is why, if you have gotten a Beervent calendar and you are going along this journey with us, you get $5 at Higher Gravity for returning your box, because that is less man hours that they have to spend next year assembling that box.
And do they reuse them?
They will reuse the main base box because the base box is very heavy. They'll redo the lids because you pop the lids and the lids are gone or dunzos once you have popped the numbers off of them. But they will use the base box, and I'm not sure whether or not they use the dividers as well. I'm sure they would if they were still in good condition.
Yeah.
But these things are expensive. And then they also have to receive and prep the beers as they come in, because a lot of beers come in pack techs, and you cannot put a 6-pack pack tech of beer in a single box. So you have to disconnect all of those beers so you can use them.
And these things are all, they have a special order that goes to them. So it's a lot. I can imagine it being a lot of work. I'm sure there's lots of quality control too.
Yeah. And I mean, it's one of those, like, you have to be a production line that is running very well of this beer goes in this slot. And I am always putting this beer in this slot.
Yeah.
So that I don't open up a day 6 beer on day 5.
I haven't heard of like any like goof ups.
I haven't either, but I also don't know how much people like super pay attention to that. I mean, they do because they post in the beer groups and stuff. But if you're just like hey, I want this to enjoy it, and I'm not like in the beer scene as far as I'm in all the Facebook groups, I might not realize that I have a day that's off.
Yeah, I mean,
unless it's like the day that we got iced, and then, oh, hey, I didn't get iced, or I got iced yesterday. What's up with that? Because I think one year they got iced.
That's what you keep saying, but I don't remember.
It might have just been a Miller Lite. I know at one point that one year they got a High Life, and everybody was like, blah, 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 blah. It's like literally every other beer on here is a super craft beer.
Yeah.
Like, they got to throw in one cheapo. You'll be fine. So Joe picked up our box a little bit before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Truth Beer and Consequences was not recording at Higher Gravity, so he couldn't harass them.
Shame.
But shame. You didn't tell it. Well, maybe you did tell us that you were moving locations for the week. I don't know.
No, he said they were there. They were just there super early, I guess.
Yeah, I was.
The bartender.
Yeah. I had to try to figure out where they were on Facebook and Instagram, and they never posted where they were, but then I eventually figured out where they were.
No, he told me where they were. They were at Colchinate.
Mm-hmm. So, big thing that you have to do when you get a Higher Gravity Beervent box is tell them which location you will be picking it up from, because they only have so many at each location. So like if you tell them that you're going to pick it up in Northside and you go to Summit Park, well, you just screwed somebody over that was going to pick theirs up in Summit Park, because now there's a box in Northside that nobody's picking up. So make sure you get it at the right location. And then I'm sure the place was just like wall-to-wall Beervent boxes. How crazy was it when you walked in to get it? as far as like beer vent boxes?
I mean, it was, they didn't like take out any of the spacing, the seating. I mean, it was definitely floor to ceiling, basically floor to ceiling. But it wasn't too bad.
Okay, that's good.
It's the Summit Park location is relatively big. So, I mean, they have the room to do that. I haven't been to the North Side location, so I don't know how big that is.
So they have an FAQ at the bottom of their page. It mostly covers like ordering your box and what to do with your box.
Yeah. They do pre-orders in July.
Yeah, pre-orders start in July, and that is when you get a custom glass with your order, or sometimes they'll throw in something else. Because they're very happy when you order early.
I don't know that they did the custom glass this year.
They did.
Oh, did they?
That's why I told you to buy it in July.
Well.
So that's a bit about the Higher Gravity Beervent box. And last year what we did was we would pull a beer from the box and put it in the fridge every day. And then the kids would fall asleep and we would fall asleep. And then we would end up doing like 2 or 3 beers in one night. And we'd have to put it in one episode because our intention was to do an episode every night.
Yes.
And then we were just constantly playing catch up.
Well, I mean, my brother got married the week after Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, there was that too. Your brother got married, which completely killed like 3 possible nights of recording with just wedding and wedding exhaustion.
We did not compensate for that very well.
We did not.
We did not think that one through.
Oh.
But, go ahead.
Some people are jerks. And they open up their beer vent box the day they get it and then start checking everything into Untapped. We are not going to do that this year. We never do Untapped anyway.
No, we don't do Untapped.
We have 0 risk of that happening.
So we are going to we are recording this early. If we didn't already say that, we are recording this, in November, but we are going to be posting this episode on December 1st.
Will this episode?
Yes.
Okay.
And then day 1 will be December 2nd.
Okay. I'm good with that. Yes, that works.
Just to try to alleviate the spoilers as much as possible. It'll be posted, midnight, or I think I do 2 a.m. or whatever. But
that's all you, boo.
Yeah. So it'll be early the next day. So it'll be just like, as though we
had it last
night. We got off work. Yeah.
But if you watch the video, we could be in the same clothes for 2 or 3 days in a row.
Yeah. There may be some like special effects going on there may be some filters.
That's like insane shit.
I know. I could maybe turn your sweatshirt green or something.
I mean,
it'll be a different sweatshirt.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah. But we are doing this as early as we can so that we have kind of a buffer.
Yeah, we're going back to the buffer method.
Yeah. We are batch recording as much as possible. Now, the first one, I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm super excited for the Beervent Calendar. So we do, like, transparency. We do know what the first 2 beers are because we opened them up and threw them in the fridge in anticipation of recording an episode with them tonight. But what are we looking forward to? What do we think that they're going to do in the box this year? What's in the box?
What's in the box? Well, I hope we get another Belgian beer because that was good.
The Belgians do know how to make some good beer.
That was a good beer. I hope we get a German beer too.
Ja, das ist gut.
Yeah,
gut.
Or something like that in that region.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to collaborations, especially the West Side Beside specific beer. Maybe it'll be like a Rausch beer. I love me a good Rausch beer. West Side does do some good smoked beers. But
it's a very niche thing.
It is, but we get like niche beers in this.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I mean, it's very possible that they did that for sure.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that we're going to get a macro beer at some point, but I don't know.
When you say macro, do you mean like fake craft beer macro, like Goose Island?
I mean like macro, like we have 4 beers, Bud Light, Miller Lite, and Coors.
Yeah.
Like that macro, but like there could be some fake macro or like some fake craft in there as well.
I don't know Jason very well, but if I had to guess between those beers that you named, I would say that he probably snuck a Bud Light in there.
Hey, if they were giving them away at some point,
maybe.
If you can have a free beer in your box.
I mean, but I don't even think he has it on draft, though.
I don't think they do either.
But I know that people in the craft beer community, they hate Bud Light for a whole host of different reasons.
If that is a thing, I am looking forward to the drain pour becoming a thing again.
Yeah.
Because we talked about drain pours recently, and I was like, you know what? I haven't, like, there was a schism in the craft beer group, Cincinnati craft beer group community at some point. And part of that was due to chugging, of like, I'm going to chug this beer. And it's like, you're chugging a craft beer. Like, what are you doing with your life? And like, people were up in arms about that. But then there was also the drain pours of like, I had 3 sips of this beer and it was the worst beer ever. So I'm going to post a video or a photo of me dumping this beer down my kitchen sink. That was a thing for a hot second.
Yeah.
And then it stopped. Just like that time that for a hot second, there were clowns hanging out in the woods and running after people. That was a thing that happened. But then COVID happened. So we all forgot about it.
The simulation is broken.
Yes.
That's another conversation.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to us sitting down and drinking some beers together. I am interested to see at what point in the month, whether it'll be like the 15th or like the 20th, where we will have to be like panic recording an episode every day to catch up.
Yeah.
Interested to see what kind of buffer we give ourselves. Now we've got a pretty decent buffer right now, knock on wood.
Well, I think we can get 2 done today. Well,
I think we can get 2 in as well.
3 done today.
Well, 3 episodes. So it'll be 26 episodes total, ideally. And we're going to get 3 episodes in today.
And maybe 2 tomorrow. We'll see.
I'm not making any promises, but maybe.
Maybe at least 1.
Yeah.
Depends on what they are, too. But if you're watching this video, we appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in and going on this. Thank you for tuning into the future episodes and going on this journey with us. We will be sure to share these episodes when they're available. Obviously, don't click on them if you don't want the spoilers.
Yeah, like if you didn't drink your beer 6, don't. And you like want to know what beer 6 was before, like you want it to be a surprise, like don't get behind.
I'll try not to do like spoilery thumbnails. I'll try to be like
Beervent Day 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm excited. And then like it's gonna be 26 episodes, but like this will probably be our longest one. We're at like 27 minutes right now.
I have checkpoints and every like week, every 7 days. So week 1 review, week 2 review. And then week 3 review, and then
oh yeah, because you made that schedule and you finally sent it to me, so I know what it is now.
Hopefully we follow it, but if we don't, it's probably because I fell asleep.
Probably. So
Because I totally fell asleep.
I'm very proud of you for waking up and recording tonight.
I was watching the UC game on my phone, and
With your eyes closed while snoring?
putting Elliot down, and I thought that would keep me awake, but they weren't doing so good, so it didn't work.
Okay, so if you are watching this video on YouTube, smash that like button, slam subscribe, ring that notification bell. And if you are on just your podcatcher, give us 5 stars. If you like this episode, sweet, tell us about it. If you don't like this episode, sweet, also tell us about it and listen to like 5 more episodes and then tell us which one's your favorite. I can be found at Caroline Creates Crafts on Instagram. I am going to start posting stocking stuffers here like tomorrow, which is like a week ago. If you're listening to this when we drop it.
Yeah.
Who are you?
I am at Craft Parenting Joe on Instagram, and Craft Parenting Podcast is on all the social media platforms. Did you say that?
I hadn't gotten there yet. That was going to be the next thing.
All right. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube.
That's still so weird.
X.
I am such an old person now. I can't do it. You can't change the name on me like that.
And with that, we will see you next time.
Bye.